Good evening, everyone. My name is Mohannad Bitar, and I will never achieve anything in my life. This is what a few people told me when I was younger. I was born in the US. My father's Lebanese, and my mother's Qatari. And I was pretty much raised here in Qatar until the past few years where I've been between Austria and Qatar. I'm a young entrepreneur here in Qatar, which has founded This is Qatar, which is a digital media outlet, Mr. TEDxYouth, which is my personal brand, and Socialite, which is a creative PR and marketing agency, with a production house under it, and our most recent addition, which is Aim for Events, an events company. Now, in my early teens, I was, you could say, a bad academic, caused a lot of problems, and wasted a lot of my time, if not all of it, and I just hung around with the wrong people. So, I'm 15 years old, just moved to Austria for a new school, new start, and it was great because there was a lot of outdoor activities, which I loved, and I do love doing crazy things. So I loved hiking, and we did hiking. We hiked a lot, and we always hiked, if not 3 times a week, if not more. And one day I go out hiking, and having time in my life, got up on top of the mountain, and instead of staying on the path, I decided to go between the two mountains, to go in between the mountain where the waterfalls, mini waterfalls were going down. So to go down instead of through the path, I used the waterfalls. And it was probably 8 meters in width, and just a big mountain, and then I had one way to go, and that was all. So I'm on my way down, having time in my life, and what's about to happen is going to change my life forever. Until I get down and I see that there's a dead end with trees which have fallen from both sides of the mountains, blocking my path, where the only way I could go is back. Now, going back, I'm trying to get back. The water pressure is becoming stronger and stronger as it's around 5 p.m. and the water is freezing, and I'm drenched, and it's freezing. It's really cold, and since I'm not moving as fast, I'm not being so active, I started feeling it. And the first thing that comes to my mind is, okay, hyperthermia is coming. And until I go to one of the small waterfalls, I'm trying to climb up, and I can't feel my hands anymore, and I can't grab on, and I fall down, hit my head. At that very moment, I was like, I don't know where I am. No one else does. And I have no idea how long I'm going to last in here and if I'm going to live to the next day. Now, I knew that I had to keep moving. I had to keep my body warm. And whatever I did, I couldn't stop because then I'll just pass out. And I had to scream out for help. So here I was, few hours in, screaming out for help, not knowing if anyone's going to even ever find me or hear me. And finally someone heard me. And I was like, great, I'm getting out of here. Then more time passed by. I was like, and at this point, I don't know how much more I could take of this. I'm freezing. I can't feel my arms or legs. And finally a helicopter came for evac. I was evacuated. And there was one thing on my mind on the way to the airport, to the hospital, sorry, and for the next few weeks. And it was, what if I died that day? What have I achieved? What have I done for the world? What have I done to be remembered, to leave my footprints in the world? And I could always come up with one answer. And that answer was, nothing. I haven't done anything to change the world. I haven't done anything to benefit anyone but myself. And for me, that was, at that point, that was it. I knew I didn't want to do nothing anymore. Now, a few weeks later, I get back to Doha, and I know I'm done doing nothing. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And it was Ramadan at the time, so we just finished iftar, and we were trying to figure out what to do, me and my friend, um, after iftar, and we couldn't find anything online. Now, at that point, we're like, this entire country is not possible that there's nothing to do here. So that was how this Qatar was born. We developed a platform which came out of an Instagram account just so that we can give the people of the country, its residents, a place to come and know what there is to do, from events to new restaurants to activities, whatever it may be. Now, what I'd like you to take from the story of my accident is each point of someone's life, usually you go through something that changes the direction of your life. Now, for me, I was very, very, very lucky to have been able to survive my accident, and the fact that I had this accident at such a young age, because it turned my life around. Now, you guys, you don't need to wait for something like that to happen. You have examples around you, me being one of them, where you don't need to wait for something bad to happen, where you're going to have to realize, oh, I'm done wasting my time. I need to change the direction of my life. So that is something you don't have to wait for. That is something you have under your control. Now, after I started this Qatar, shortly after that, I started facing a lot of difficulties because of my age. I was, I believe, around 16 at the time. I knew I was going to be facing even more difficulties because of my age and negativity. And a few weeks after we started, I wanted to do an event called Connect, which is a networking event with a charitable aspect to it. And we realized that we need sponsors for that event. So here we are trying to get sponsors, and I keep hitting the same wall, which is people going like, I don't have time, we're not a kindergarten, go home, play PlayStation like the other kids. We're running a business, we're not running a kindergarten, and you're gonna fail, it's a stupid idea, and so on and so forth. So there was so much negativity being channeled towards me, which is normal, but the amount of it at such a short period of time was crazy. And I knew that unless I find a way to use this negativity to my benefit, it will make me fall. It will make me fall, and it won't allow me to get back up. So what I did is I used this negativity as fuel to motivate me to move on and keep achieving whatever goal I had in mind. Because later on in life, when age is no longer the factor of negativity, there's always something else. There's always an email. There's always, oh, you have something cooler, so someone's jealous and he wants to see you fail. There's always another aspect where people are going to use their negativity. So each time somebody tells me you will fail, I say thank you. Each time someone tells me this is a stupid idea, I say thank you. And each time someone tells me go home, we don't have time for you, I say thank you. And the reason for that is I wouldn't have been able to create the life I have right now without all of these people's support, which by fueling my mission and my goals. All of these people were a huge part of my success in whatever aspect I chose to follow and whatever I was trying to achieve. Now, time is also a big thing. After I started my work, I was like, okay, I want to do this, but I'll wait till next year when I'll have more time. I'll wait for next year when I have more time. I'll do this later. I'm very busy now. Until I realize something. You will never have more time. Time is a currency that runs out at either point in your life, and nobody knows when it's going to run out. You don't know. No one knows. And time is so valuable that you make use of it. So for example, today you're probably in school. Tomorrow you're probably in university. After tomorrow you're probably working. And the day after you're probably working in a company that's expanding, or your own company which is expanding, and you have more responsibilities, more work, more of your effort needs to go towards it. So there's no such thing as a perfect time. It's non-existent. It's really non-existent. Whatever, like, the best time to do anything is now. You get what I mean? Because you don't know what's happening tomorrow. You don't know what you're doing in a year. No one knows. And it's very rare where you have more time in 1 year than unless you're retired, okay? So time is such an important aspect in all of this. Now, another very important lesson towards this is, other than age and time and fueling negativity, allowing negativity to fuel you, is focus. To achieve anything, you need focus. And personally, I still believe I waste a lot of time. I still believe I am not focused enough. But taking into consideration 6 years ago and now, I'm a completely different person. And I still have a long way to go. Now, other than focus, you have self-motivation. And self-motivation, nobody has taught me that better than my father. My father, no matter what I achieved, no matter what I did, would never say more than, great work. Oh, keep it up. Oh, this is cool. Yalla, we'll see it next time. Keep going. You do better next time. And okay, a lot of you guys might be saying that's very mean. And I used to say that. I used to go insane. I used to go around like, what do I have to do for him to be happy and actually think what I'm doing is good? Until I realized what he was doing. And what he was doing was teaching me that you don't need anyone to praise you to motivate yourself. You don't need somebody to clap to motivate you. You don't need for someone's approval to motivate you. Because the day you make a mistake, and you all will, and I will, and everybody will, we're humans, we make mistakes. The day you make a mistake and people don't praise you, don't say good work, or say any of that, and you fall, you're going to need people to get you back up. But if you could self-motivate yourself, then if you fall 1,000 times, you'll get back up, if not stronger than you were before. That's why self-motivation is extremely, extremely important and is a vital part of anyone's life or to achieve a goal. Now, I'd like you guys to leave the room today with these 5 things and to conclude. Age doesn't matter. It does not determine what you can or cannot do. Don't wait and waste your time. The time is now. And using negativity to fuel you, as no matter who you are and what you're doing, you will always face negative people and people trying to bring you down, and use that to your advantage. 4 is focus. Focus, focus, focus. And 5 is self-motivation. If you want to achieve, if you want to follow your ambition, and if you want to reach your goals, get out of your comfort zones and challenge yourself to reach these goals. My name is Mohannad Bitar, and this is my story. It's time for you to start yours.